You too, what it do? It's your boy Benji, and we are back in between the ropes. If you're new, go ahead and slap that subscribe button, man. We almost at 800. And I do want to appreciate each and every one of y'all who have subscribed and joined the Benji gang, joined the crew. I mean, we love everything over here. If you're new, movies, TV shows, and of course some wrestling. So we chatting it up, we vibing. Come on, join the community and hop down and below in the comment section, man. A lot of y'all have been letting me know movies, TV shows, and wrestling matches and storylines to check out, and I do appreciate it. Like, I'm not gonna get emotional, man. You did this. All right, but not for real. Yeah, I really just appreciate y'all, man. We vibing, we making things happen. Anyways, we open up the show. This is AEW Collision. Again, I appreciate y'all that even told me to check this out. I recently just started watching AEW, so it's only right that I continue the canon, okay? MJF opens up the show letting everybody know who is the bad guy. He was distracted by Mark Briscoe at Forbidden Door, and that cost him a title. So it's only right that he returned the favor last week instead of chilling with his wife during the honeymoon. I do kind of want to know, what happened. Is his wife going to, pawn the ring or whatever, or she's just okay with it? Mark Briscoe gets on the video display, and he thanks Santa MJF for the opportunity to introduce their match stipulation: tables and thumbtacks. Yeah, this match is going to be insane. I don't really know why anybody would want to put themselves through this. I mean, thumbtacks and tables, these boys will be hurting. But I did tell y'all that Briscoe seems like the guy who would go through a table for a half of a hot dog. So I really do hope that MJF can keep his scarves clean. I do like the parallels that MJF has drawn from their matchup, such as, things like white collar versus blue collar, and the fact that he figures he, who represents white collar, will end up on top. Briscoe pours a bunch of tacks into the mat and ends up setting MJF for the J driver. So it was kind of a cool moment, I thought, where it seemed as if Jay was really backstage live filming this video, but in reality he snuck up on MJF in the ring. And of course MJF scurries away. He's too smart, and the stage is set. I mean, with this match being what it is, a hardcore match, I would assume that Jay actually gets a W. Because, I mean, if you think about it, bro, MJF has the contract in his back pocket. So he can win or lose. He can, maybe lose a little bit of pride, which would, be a huge detriment to MJF. But he could always challenge for the championship. So I don't know if it really means much if he loses. And I don't know how sneakily he can win if it's a match where there's no disqualifications. In our first match of the night, we get KOKOSHUKE TAKESHITA versus Anthony Bowens. Let me know if I butchered that, man. I feel like I try every time, and I don't know, I still mess it up. At the end of the day, these guys match up in a eliminator tournament where the winner will end up in a match for the unified title. These guys get after it, and Anthony Bowens puts up a good fight. But at the end of the day, he eats a Raging Fire finisher from Takeshita, who takes the win. I'm interested to see what this will mean. I mean, obviously they're setting up Takeshita versus Okada and possibly a rift being caused between the two of them that leads to a rift in the Don Callis family that's trying to hold everything together. I'm excited to see what this may lead to, and that's what I really enjoy about AEW is that even though this is a match in a tournament, it's a purposeful match that we get to see, because we get to see the spiraling effect from this match throughout this episode. I'll come back to that. We saw a couple other things going on. I mean, Beast Mortos is supposed to be battling Mascara, and we saw a segment that alludes to a character named El Clone, who's supposed to be a possible clone of Hologram, and this leads to a bunch of people that are nearby Hologram tripping out. Now, this is kind of interesting. I do like, this has the possibility to be pretty goofy, but I'm also interested in this. We're going to get good matches out of it. So, the story could be funny. We also got a $500,000 10-woman tag match. And, again, I'm not really a fan of the way that promotions run these matches. the idea in itself is a pretty lazy way to create beef amongst a bunch of characters and superstars. But I ain't gonna lie, it's been working for me when I watch AEW. I really do like that these matches never really seem like a one-on-one match, and that they end up pretty chaotic. I mean, we even have Tony Storm showing up at the commentary desk in order to watch the match. I mean, if you throw all these personalities and agendas into the ring together, it'll end up a mess. I mean, Jamie Hayter and Statlander had some tension going into this match, and they promised to put aside their differences in order to win that $500,000. Which, hey, I would hope that that's what you do. If I'm the rest of the team members, I'm letting them know too. Hey, look, y'all not better fun, but this bag, I barely get TV time. We gotta win. End of the day, but as soon as the bell rings, Jamie Hayter steals the spotlight away from Statlander. Sometimes you can't even trust your own people. There were some spots that I really enjoyed in this match, including this point where, I mean, they're hitting some tag team combo moves, and additionally, of course, where there's everybody on the top turnbuckle mounting their opponent, and they just hitting them with that bam, 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 bam. I enjoyed that. Tekla and her girls end up winning after she's able to slice Jay with a spear in order to secure her team a W. More women show up, including Queen Aminata, and a brawl is incited. Tony Storm grabs the microphone and says, "Hey, let's brawl, bitches," and she, gets into war. It was crazy though. They really showed up with the cooler and are like beating everybody in the head with the cooler. All right, back to the big web of cohesion. So, Max Caster is back, and he's calling out another challenger to showcase his skill in the ring. Yet, it is Big Bill who ends up answering the call. Of course, he handles business. We knew that was going to happen. He does grab the mic after the match and calls out Eddie Kingston again. I have just started watching, so I tried to remain true to the weekly canon. But yeah, who is Eddie Kingston and why is he hiding from Big Bill? Y'all fill me in on that. We do end up catching Anthony Bowens backstage trying to regroup and figure out his next steps with the old fart Jerry Lynn. Now, Jerry Lynn's been trying to coach up, I guess, some of the boys backstage and give a lot of these dudes opportunities to try and revive the situations that they're in and essentially their career. That's the way I understand it, at least. Max Caster ends up catching these boys, and these boys have time today. He tries to bump Bowens as he walks by, but Bowens straight up whoops Max Caster all the way to the ring. Jerry Lynn ends up coming to the rescue and tell these boys about how trash they've been solo and how much better they are together. He ends up getting interrupted by Blake Christian and Lee Johnson of the Swirl, and of course they get to fight. I'd probably be ready to fight too if this guy here challenges me. I understand he's a legend, but brother, no old man for to beat me, and I'm supposed to be coming up out here? No sir. But before I get too carried away, the old man did hold his own for a few minutes before they started to beat down he and Max. Anthony Bowens was literally steps away from the curtain and from safety, but the voices on his shoulder can just convinced him to turn around and help these boys, which he ends up doing. They thwart the dastardly plans of the Swirl and get these boys out of the ring. Might he and Max Caster form a tag team again? I mean, honestly, if I'm him, that's probably advice that I can listen to for OG because, dude, you guys haven't won anything as individuals. Max Caster, you're getting embarrassed, and he's not lying. Anthony Bowens, you're just kind of floating around, existing. The show started off pretty good. I mean, additionally, we did get a match between FTR and Adam Priest and Tommy Billigan. FTR wins. This match was solid, of course, but nothing really in it that stuck out to me. We then got Michael Oku versus Okada. Oku entered the ring with a big amount of swag. All right. Big swag, nice shorty on the waist. He tries to electrify the crowd early with a bunch of crazy dives to the outside before he ends up taking a nasty spill midway after getting pushed off the top rope and landing awkwardly on the barricade. Well, he didn't really get pushed. He got like a crazy drop kick. But at the end of the day, he landed super crazy. Surprisingly, he's able to get up from that, but Okada begins to wear on the neck, eventually countering a series of roll-up attempts into a pile driver. And then Okada then scoops this guy up and drops him right back down with a Rainmaker for the 1-2-3. Okada wins, and our boy Takeshita shows up. And this is like, again, kind of an allusion back or a callback to what I was talking about earlier. Like that elimination match, while it was two people matching up for an attempt to get an opportunity to fight for the Unified Championship, I think that the aftermath led to a bunch. And now we've seen a bunch of stories intertwining and potential opportunities available to people solely because of the match that you booked on TV. Now we get to see Anthony Bowens considering other options now. Because, I mean, if you continue to pile up L's, you start to look at everything differently. Takeshita, hey, look, man, I'm blowing through everybody, and this is my opportunity to prove myself. And if I got to go through my boy to make it happen, or if I got to go through a family member, or if I got to go through a table mate, we'll make it happen. In the main event, we got the Death Riders versus Paragon. And I know that we're used to seeing Wheeler Yuta or Claudio over the last few weeks. But this match and the new member of the Death Riders, Danny Garcia, was interesting to say the least. So Danny actually ends up teaming with Jon Moxley in opposition to any other guys that we've seen before. So that was interesting to see. It looks like Daniel Garcia is probably still rocking the hoodie from last week and then decided to switch up his gear in total to all black and kind of switched out the trunks for shorts. Unfortunately, Daddy is up to no good. He's absolutely acquiescing the ways of the Death Riders, and he's trying to do anything he can to win by any means. This match was entertaining, and it was Garcia who was able to get this win via submission. I thought Mox might have got this win, or there would have been like a nefarious deed from Daniel that leads to the win or leads to the Moxley pin or something like that. But I actually like this. He shouldn't suddenly be weak. I mean, this is a guy that we saw as a formidable opponent to Jon Moxley, some of the other big names like MJF. But aligning with the bad guys is awakening a new level of savagery and persistence from Garcia. And that's something I think I felt that was noticeable at this match. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All in all, solid show. I mean, we'd like to rate everything with yay, nay, and okay. This is an okay show. I'm not gonna be too mad. I mean, what we just saw at Dynamite I thought was really, really good. And so I think that we're building upon this well, especially as we head into Forbidden Door. We're starting to flesh out a lot of the storylines and the potential for things that can go on after Forbidden Door. So I'm excited for what we got. And y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode in the comments below.